about 6 weeks of my summer, I had the privilege of serving the Lord in South Asia in a city called Gateway. Myself and 11 students from Ohio and Michigan came alongside 6 staff members of the international organization called Campus Crusade for Christ, or CRU. CRU is a Christian organization that works with college students across the globe to bring the gospel into the lives of young adults. Through CRU, my team of 18 laborers were sent into one of the biggest, most unreached cities in the world to build relationships, share the love of Christ, and proclaim the gospel to others. In our time in Gateway, we spent most of our days doing campus-related ministry. For 5 days of our week, our team would go to one of the many college buildings in the city, meet students, and engage in conversations with them. We would use surveys and games to ask them questions about their school lives, family lives, and religious lives. Through these conversations, we made connections with students and were able to meet up with them consistently throughout the summer. During these meetings, we would ask questions, build meaningful relationships, and share the gospel with our new friends. One of the most meaningful relationships I built this summer was with a local student named Hannah. An intern introduced me to Hannah and shared a bit of her story with me, how she had been processing the gospel with a series of interns and student mission teams for over 4 years. Despite her interest in Jesus and her desire to understand and read the Bible, Hannah had barriers keeping her from accepting Christ as her Lord and Savior. After 4 years of seed sowing and watering, God allowed me to step into her story. I met up with Hannah every Wednesday during my time in Gateway. Each week, we would talk through some of her questions. She asked me about God's goodness, His plan for her life, and the validity of the Bible, even what spiritual encounters with God would even look like for her. Just 2 days before I would leave Gateway and come back to America, I had my last lunch with Hannah. I remember praying that morning and asking God to invite her into His eternal family that very day. In our time together, Hannah began quickly asking questions about God, specifically in the Old Testament, and how He could still be a good God through all of the things she had read in the Old Testament. She mentioned specifically the story of Abraham and Isaac in Genesis 22. Shortly before we had this meeting, I'd heard a beautiful sermon at our church about Genesis 22 that spoke to me and our team in a really individual way. So I was very excited to share what I had heard about the beauty of Jesus in Genesis 22 with her. So together we opened the Bible and read through Genesis 22 together, and afterwards I shared with her what I had been taught about Jesus in that passage. And afterwards she just started weeping, and I asked her, "How is this sitting with you, and what do you think of it?" And she simply said, "I have no words." I gave her a minute to collect herself and then asked, "Hannah, do you want to have a relationship with Jesus, like right now?" And she said yes, and we prayed together in a restaurant, and we were all very excited, and I was so excited that the Lord was gracious towards me and allowed me not only to meet her and become her friend, but to be there in the moment when she would finally accept Christ after 4 years of searching and asking questions. So being able to share that moment with Hannah, as well as many other tremendous moments, created a space for God to show me the depths of the gospel and just how beautiful it is. Gateway is a broken city, one full of poverty and pain and loneliness. In the brokenness I saw before me, God helped me understand the brokenness within each of us. While Gateway is so desperately in need of the gospel, so am I, and so are all of us. While sin in Gateway is in need of redemption, so am I, and so are all of us. And most importantly, God is passionately pursuing His children in Gateway, just like He has pursued me and pursued you. Brokenness, whether it's hidden or on display or within ourselves, is redeemed by God. He has crossed every barrier to reach us, and it's an incredible joy to accept His grace and live a life that is reconciled with our Creator. In Matthew 9, Jesus says, "The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore pray to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into His harvest." This is my greatest prayer for South Asia. Gateway is one of the biggest cities in the world, as well as one of the most unreached cities in the world. Yet there are not enough laborers in this area to reach the masses. I invite you all to be praying with me for more laborers to be sent to South Asia, bearing the good news of Jesus. I believe the gospel is the solution to every aspect of brokenness in Gateway. Only through the redemption of Jesus will we see the city made whole again. Through this prayer, I feel confident that we can see healing reach Gateway. It's hard to put into words just how blessed I've been in my experience in Gateway and in South Asia in general. And I'm so grateful for you all for participating in this with me and sending me. I want to thank each of you for your prayers and all the different ways that support looks. With your help and by the power of the Holy Spirit, the gospel is continuing to go to the ends of